Hello again, and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. I am Zarkoon, and today I have an introductory video on the Royal Navy battleship HMS Nelson. But before we get to the video, we have to deal with this Akatsuki. There he is, he's turning, and... he gone! Devastating strike on a destroyer there with the HMS Nelson's excellent HE shells. And now that you've seen that, we will talk a little bit more about the HMS Nelson in the much better Kraken plus a little bit extra battle coming up right after this clip ends. And here we go. Okay, so we've got a battle here on Trident. Capture the base mode. We are in the Tier 6 Premium HMS Nelson, which I bought from the store. Reason I bought it? Well, I'll tell you. Two things interested me about this ship. First, it's got all of its turrets located in the front of the ship. A little bit like the Jean Bart and Richelieu. And as you know, those are two of my favorite battleships. And this ship is absolutely nothing like those ships. Okay? And we'll get into a little bit of why that is. First, you'll notice right off the bat, if you've got a close eye there, that it takes the Nelson 30 seconds to load its turrets. This is significantly slower than either the Jean Bart or the Richelieu, so there's that. Secondly, the Nelson, you'll notice, has two heals to default with. Now I'm running Level 15 Cunningham as the commander on this ship, and he brings with him two heals. If you want to switch him out to Richard Madden, you get 3 heals. Why such a low number of heals, you ask? Well, because these are not like ordinary heals. These are like super heals, alright? And you will see them employed in this game. So I knew about the Nelson's crazy super heal. Basically, you can take a lot of damage and print yourself about half of a new battleship with these heals. Alright? It is significant. It is kind of crazy, actually. And so the heal, one thing that interested me. Turrets in the front, another thing that interested me. Third thing that interested me. These guns are 406mm guns. That's right. Same size as the Iowa. So, why am I shooting HE? Well, I'll tell you why. Because A, this ship has great HE shells, much like many of the other ships in the Royal Navy battleship line. It's got, I think these shells do over or around 6,000 damage, the HE shells do, and they have, I believe, a 46% chance to start a fire, which is outrageously high. Pretty much every time you hit a target, or at least every other time you hit a target, you will start a fire. Now, I've said that, and I've shot twice at a Gneisenau and a Pensacola, both with HE. I have not started a fire. That's okay. I also took a torpedo. That's also okay. Anyway, reason I'm shooting HE besides the great fire starting chance is because the AP shells on this ship, and I looked this up to confirm because I thought, what the heck, these are gigantic guns. Oh, look at that, we hit the Gneisenau there with our HE salvo and we permanently take out one of his torpedo tubes. Nice. Anyway, I was having a couple games and I was a little bit frustrated with the AP shells on this ship. I thought, why the hell are these not penetrating like they should? And keep in mind, on my Cunningham build, I have a level 11 Jaujard as an inspiration, which should theoretically increase the AP penetration values. And yet, I was not getting the big knockout punches on enemy battleships that I thought I should be getting with guns of this size. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you. It's because the AP shells on this British battleship are a lot like the other AP shells on other ships in the British battleship line. That is, they are those short-fused British AP shells. Okay, oh, look at this. We've got a Mahan. We've got HE loaded. Perfect. He is at full health. He's been taken down a little bit by our teammate, and he's been chunked by us here. But we've got 2 more guns loaded, and here we go. Shots are out. The Mahan is taken down to almost no health. We disable one of his torpedo tubes, and he is gonna be heading back to port shortly. Anyway, short-fused British AP shells. That is a good thing if you are firing at cruisers, especially more lightly armored cruisers. The AP shells arm faster than the typical AP shell on your other battleships down the line, which means when they hit the lightly armored cruisers, they penetrate and then they arm very quickly and explode inside the ship and inside the citadel. So there's our first kill right there, by the way, on that Mahan. So you're much more likely when you're shooting at a broadside cruiser to get actual penetrations and massive catastrophic damage with these short-fused AP shells. Great, fantastic, but when you're shooting against more heavily armored battleships with these British AP shells, you are less likely to get catastrophic penetrations. I think I played 3 games in this ship shooting AP at broadside battleships from all kinds of ranges, and I did not get a single citadel penetration. So if you're looking for a ship with big guns that can deliver huge knockout punches to enemy battleships, this is not necessarily the ship for you. Go with the Iowa, or the Alabama, or the Jean Bart, or anything that's not in the Royal Navy, because the Royal Navy has some peculiar shells. That's just a thing with the Royal Navy. So, what to do with this ship? I probably haven't quite figured it out yet, but I can tell you that you're gonna need to switch your shells actively in this ship. And it's possible that Cunningham is not the optimum build for that, because this does have a slow reload time at 30 seconds. I believe the other Tier 6 Royal Navy battleship, the King George, has a 25 second reload time. That in and of itself makes it a little bit better at HE spamming than this ship. You see, we do get a decent hit there though on that Leon, but he's pretty lightly armored. So anyway, the shorter reload time on the King George makes it more of a decent HE spammer than this ship, because you've got a faster rate of fire, you can pump out more damage. So it's possible that Richard Madden, if you have a high level Richard Madden, would be beneficial to run on this ship, considering that, you know, it doesn't shoot extremely fast. Anyway, what you want to do is make sure you're cognizant of the type of ship you're shooting at and the type of shell you have loaded. So you see here we have a broadside Fuso, very close to us. Perfect target for an AP salvo. 5 penetrations, 20,000 damage. Insane, but no citadel. Now, I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's because the shells are penetrating the first layer of the Fuso's armor and then arming and exploding and not entering the citadel. I really don't know. I suspect that that is what it is. They are penetrating the Fuso's first layer of armor, arming, exploding, and not penetrating the citadel. Still though, massive damage. Had that been a citadel, that Fuso would have been gone. One shot dead. But this is British AP. Alright, so we took most of that Fuso's health. I believe our secondaries actually lit a fire on this Fuso, and that's whittling him down. We are only at 1 kill so far, and this Fuso taking another AP shot at him right into the superstructure, takes him down to almost nothing, and then the fire finishes him off. Now we've got a Leon over there, alright, and I'm considering getting shots on him. Notice the turret setup, by the way. I guess this is a good time to talk about that. So it's got 2 super firing turrets in the front. You know, there's one right in the front, one above it. 2 super firing ones. And then there's another turret behind the second super firing turret. And that turret cannot fire forward. You have to angle your ship to get it on target. You don't have to angle it that much. You can maintain a pretty steep angle, actually, to shoot all 3 of the guns, and you may see it here soon, but for now we need to take care of this Pensacola who is entering the base. We don't really want to take shots from that Leon over there, but it's more important to take out the Pensacola. And watch this, British AP short fused shells, 1 hit on that Pensacola, Citadel, devastating strike, and you know, I'm not going to say he gone, but I don't want to overuse that term. It is not my term, but it's, if you were thinking it, you know, it's appropriate in this situation. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to take a torpedo here. Yes, we do. But there's a Nuremberg, 2 more guns out, shots on him, and yet another Citadel, and that Nuremberg is taken out, leaving 2 enemy ships left. Now look at my health here. I'm down to 12,000 hit points. Look at the green bar that allows, you know, that shows how much health I can recover from this last heal that I have, which is about to come back online and be usable. That is crazy. Hugely significant. If I pop this heal, it's gonna get me up to about half health, and that's not even as much as it can do. Remember, these heals can't heal certain kinds of damage. They can heal light damage, like fire damage and that kind of thing, and they can heal a certain percentage of other sort of penetrating damage. There's this Fubuki out here, taking a shot at him. We so much as tap him, he's gonna die. There he goes, Kraken unleashed. Anyway, this heal can heal quite a bit more than what was shown there. It is definitely a super heal, and this ship takes a lot of damage. Now it can tank shots if you're angled bow on at enemy battleships. It can. It can tank shots from Iowas. I've done it. But it can also be penetrated at relatively steep angles for catastrophic amounts of damage, and I think the Citadel is about the size of Buckingham Palace and can be very, very easily hit. So you got to be careful. This is not an easy ship to play. You have to angle. If you are not angled and you are showing, you know, any kind of side to an enemy battleship with the appropriate caliber guns, or really any caliber guns at this tier, you will be citadeled and you will be killed quickly. So this is not an easy ship to play, and I'm not exactly sure what the key to high damage games are either. This is about the highest I've gotten so far, in the 120s range. I believe this ship is capable of more than that, but I'm going to have to practice with it a little bit more. All in all, though, I enjoy this ship. It's very different from other ships, and it's quite unique. So, but would I recommend buying it? I am not sure. Like I said, it is difficult to play, and if you don't play cautiously, you will be punished. But sometimes you can get a Kraken plus an extra kill, like I did there. Hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Got a lot of World of Warships Legends content coming all the time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.